I tell you what, I kind of want to go back in time when it comes to politics, and I kind of want to just fast forward through everything at the same time.
Oh, goodness.
You just don't know how to feel like driving through Grove City. I've had to do a lot of random appointments for Jaden's educational stuff, and I've been in areas of Grove City I've just never driven in, although I've lived here for over 20 years now.
Hmm.
And all the political signs in the yards, it's so funny. It's like you can see exactly what happened. Like the first house has Harris Waltz, like a small sign. Then the next house has this like huge, obnoxious Trump banner. And then the next house has like an obnoxious Harris Trump or Harris
Waltz.
Waltz.
It's weird to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Harris Waltz sign. And then there's the local ones,
Yeah.
and but seeing the progression of like, okay, everyone just kind of tried to outdo each other. And in
Hmm.
our neighborhood, they put up this rule. They adjusted the rule in the bylaws that says you can't put it out more than 30 days in advance of the election.
I'm not mad at that.
In concluding. But what's funny is, I mean, I know why they put it out because everyone was putting signs out, and who's gonna regulate whether the signs come out or not?
I
My
just want
sign's bigger than yours. Son,
to, is
my
it just
sign's
me,
bigger than yours.
Yeah.
am I the only one that's not going to have their opinion changed by a sign?
I don't-
Again,
Yeah, I don't put a sign out,
No.
nor does social media
right?
posting.
Same.
I had this conversation. I go to a curly haircut place,
Hmm.
and it's typically salons anymore seem to be a little more liberal. This one is very liberal. And, I've known them for a couple years now, and I mean, they kind of can gather, they're all friends with me on social media, so they can kind of gather I'm conservative probably, even though I don't really
Okay.
post political things.
Right.
And we had a great, productive conversation the other day.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, and I'm like, here's the thing, like, if people would just stop being so rude, then you could actually, like, get things done and change minds and influence people and make things better.
Hmm.
I'm tearing up. Like, that is the American dream, isn't it?
Well, it is.
Like,
And,
where do we get lost in that?
and it's okay if somebody has an opinion different than mine,
Right.
as long as we can respect each other's opinion.
Right.
And that's supposed to be what keeps things interesting. But here in
What is?
2024,
Don't be a jerk, period.
Kristen Taylor, don't be a jerk.
Be a jerk,
That's
but
what I'm running on.
but also love America. I mean, all our policies should
yes.
be loving America and being so thankful for this country we've been given.
I don't think I mentioned this on the radio, but so a few weeks back, we interviewed Reba Bowman from Dare for More Ministries from the trip to Guatemala I took, right? And one of the things we did, it was an activity. We went to a coffee plant or a coffee making
The plant.
farm. Yeah, plant. And they bring in growers and they kind of source them. So single growers, so you can source it back to the exact person that picked your bean. It's a pretty cool process. Women owned, part woman owned. And the woman that was speaking was very, very liberal. She said that without saying it. I mean, it was very clear that she was liberal. But she said so many good things, and it got my brain really running. I'm not going to change my political stance, but it made me understand a viewpoint that I had never been it never been put in front of me before. She was talking about how the people in Guatemala would love to stay in their country and would love to make a living wage that supports their families and would love to not have to immigrate to the United States. But the fact of the matter is there's little money left for the growers by the time the people on top of the big major coffee chains make their millions of dollars. And she's not wrong, right? So let it be that they make enough money that they can support themselves, they can support their economy locally in their country, and then they don't have to immigrate. They don't have to push past our border. They don't have to come here illegally. They can actually do what they need to do to support their family and have pride in their own country. And that's what we are after. We're after pride in our country, pride in America. How do we get back to that?
Well, people have to learn that it's not all about us.
What are we talking about this segment?
Yes.
Sorry, I
Well,
got
I was going to say I brought all of this up, but I would rather have the conversation we're having. But Forbes posted an article about, let's see, how 5 U.S. presidents continue to influence retirement readiness today. And people are so wrapped up in who's going to be president, how's it going to affect me. I thought it'd be interesting to look at some in the past of where
Yeah.
it really did matter. And a key one that I've known about for some time was FDR. He signed the Social Security Act into law.
Yes.
What was it? 1935.
Yes.
Yeah.
1935. And in 1935, the smallest Social Security benefit you could receive was $10 per month. But the maximum, I mean, if you were rolling high, you got $85 a month.
Well, in 1935, that was a lot of money
Well, it is.
compared
but,
to today.
compared to today, yes. But today, the average is a little over $1,900 per month. And if you, the largest, if you go to full retirement age, which is 66 and a few months for most people now, 3822 full retirement age, and the maximum if you delay till age 70 is 4873 per month, which is over $55,000 a year. That's an amazing amount
Yeah.
just from Social Security. And by the way, this is one thing about Social Security. A lot of people that have been coming in lately did not understand. So let's suppose you had a really great paying job, and you get the maximum at full retirement age. So you got that 3822. But your spouse perhaps took a long leave of absence to raise the children, or never really worked a job where they made a lot of income. You can, the spouse, whether it be the husband or the wife, the spouse will receive or is eligible to receive half of yours if theirs is smaller. So say the spouse was $1,000 a month. Well, half of 3822 would be over $1,900 per month, and they would be eligible to receive that. That does not impact your benefit whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that's great that you brought that up. So many times they look at it as like an actual literal pot of money that they're pulling from, and that it's taken away from the other, right?
Correct.
That's not the case.
And then when one spouse passes, the survivor gets the higher of the two. That's important to note. But yeah, FDR, Social Security, and that's still a big part of an overall income plan today. It really is. And, you know, it's really shocking. And I would say last week I prepared probably 8 written income plans for families, including how Social Security fits into all that, and showing them line by line, year by year, how we're keeping pace with inflation, how we're adding different income streams at different points in times. And that's such a big part of giving people confidence that they're going to be okay in retirement.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed this last week, actually. Something like lit a fire under you in the last couple weeks, because you've been bringing your computer home, really looking at stuff. I mean, Greg is so committed, Kristen. Like, you know, we talk about it privately, not much on the show, and he would certainly not toot his own horn, but
No.
he cares so much. He's been trying to work out ways to see things better for people so they can visualize it, and I just thought I'd bring
It's
that
called
up.
a good
you, Dave.
I'm
financial.
really impressed by you.
I just think it's called being a good financial advisor too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, looking at ways you can help people further, and sometimes education isn't about just going to a conference or a school for a
Right.
thing.
Right.
Educating yourself.
I'm like, what are you doing over there on your computer after dinner?
You know, every once in a while, you know, I have to earn my keep, right?
Yeah.
So Lyndon B. Johnson,
Not popular.
yeah, he helped get Medicare going, though. And yeah, so 1965, Medicare began, and, you know, Medicare gave people a way to get health care in retirement, which, you know, most companies were no longer offering health care to retirees. So that became a big way for people to get health care. And, you know, I would say retirees look forward to getting that now. I mean, Medicare, maybe a Medicare supplement and things like that.
Hold on, what are you saying, Kristen?
I have a girlfriend that the other day she said, I turned 65 at the end of the month. But the first of the month, they're like, you've turned 65. It's time for Medicare. I guess they do it based on where your birthday lies. So
It does.
she's mad at Medicare because Medicare made her 65 before she technically was.
Yes, but I
Their
will
system.
say that from a healthcare cost perspective, when it comes to families, Medicare and a supplement working together, or a Medicare Advantage plan, is typically way lower cost than what they had to pay for individual health care, or even in many cases what they were paying as their portion of the employer health care plan.
You're right about that.
Yeah, so the cost tends to go down and the coverage tends to go up. I mean, it tends to be better coverage in most cases. So not all, but most. Gerald Ford.
What did he do?
Gerald Ford
retirement?
helped get ERISA passed, which is protections for our retirement benefits, our
So
pensions,
it's
and things like that.
Employee Retirement Income Security Act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully, folks remember that.
Yeah, I had to look down
Word
at
for
it,
word.
honestly. I know it by ERISA, but I had to
Yeah,
look down at what it,
that's
I knew what it stood for, but I had to think
ERISA,
about
correct.
it. Yeah.
And that helped enact the PBGC, which is the Pension Benefits Guarantee Corporation, which helps back our pensions in case the company that we retired from were to go belly up. They help make sure those pension dollars will keep coming to us. So something to keep in mind there. And Mr. James Earl Carter,
Not
affectionately
popular
known as
again.
Jimmy Carter, not the best president really, but he
Good
helped.
guy.
He really was. The Revenue Act in 1978, which brought about the 401k. And the 401k became the kind of the burial ground of the pension. It really did. It's now, people are part of a defined contribution plan, which is what a 401k is, versus a defined benefit plan, which is what a pension is.
The next one that was on the list, I had to look at it twice. So William Jefferson Clinton. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen, take that one.
like, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, what's he known for?
Actually, it's funny. I saw a video the other day where someone at a fast food restaurant thought Bill Clinton was Joe Biden. Did you see that, Kristen?
No, but that's funny.
There he
Yeah,
is.
it
On
is.
every level.
Talk about hurt feelings, someone didn't recognize him, although that might be good. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
But he had the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997.
but we don't remember him for that.
No.
We remember remember him for Monica.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we should remember him for
Yes.
that because does the Roth IRA sound
Yes,
familiar?
the Roth IRA.
That's
How
Bill
did I
Clinton.
know that? Hey, by the way, Bill Clinton, not most popular with me, but I will say this: that his policies would be more Republican today than they would be
or
Democrat.
more in the middle. Yeah.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. Like his policies were basically pro-American policies in that Roth IRA. I mean, listen, folks, if you've listened to this show any at all, you've heard me discuss and talk about and rant and rave about the Roth IRA. You really have. But ultimately, what we can learn from these presidents is it's important to have a plan, a written plan for your retirement, a plan that will show you how to take income, how to invest, how to get your taxes in good order. These presidents actually gave us good things. Now it's important to take those things and make the most of them.